Hi, my name is mjdigeronimo. Imagine you're in a bar and you start debating politics with someone. The argument gets a little bit heated, and then instead of responding to you, the person that you're arguing with, they just shut you down. They grab you by the scruff of the neck, they kick you out of the bar, and then tell the bartender, "Don't ever let that guy speak here again." Do you change your mind on the sidewalk? Or do you walk away angrier and more convinced you were right all along? You see, that's the problem with censorship. It doesn't kill bad ideas. Sure, it makes them appear to go away, but it actually makes them stronger. Of course, today we don't call it censorship, we call it moderation, which sounds much better, right? More reasonable, more responsible. But moderation is just censorship dressed up in a suit and tie. It's a rebranding trick, a propaganda word that makes banning ideas sound like an act of public service. But who gets to define what is too radical to be said? And if an idea is so dangerous that it can't even be discussed, doesn't that tell you it's probably worth talking about? The argument for moderation goes something like this. We're not censoring, we're just keeping people safe from harmful ideas. But here's the problem. Who decides which ideas are too dangerous to exist? I know I don't want to be the person, do you? Throughout history, some of the most radical ideas were labeled as misinformation at the time. The Earth orbits the sun, banned as misinformation in 1616. Slavery is evil. It was radical and unacceptable in the 1800s. What about germ theory? It was once dismissed as nonsense. Censorship has never been about protecting people. It's about controlling them. And when you push an idea underground, you do not eliminate it, you fuel it. When people feel silenced, they don't rethink their beliefs, they become more radical. Instead of engaging with different perspectives, they retreat into ideological bubbles where nobody challenges them anymore. And this isn't a theory, this is history. Consider the following three events. The Nazi book burnings of 1933. The Nazis held massive book burnings to destroy un-German ideas. Books by Albert Einstein, Sigmund Freud, and Karl Marx. Gone. But did burning those books erase those ideas? No. In fact, those very ideas, like Einstein's theories, became even more influential worldwide. Heinrich Heine said 100 years before the Nazis existed, where they burn books, they will also ultimately burn people. Number two, the Catholic Church's Index of Forbidden Books. From 1560 to 1966, for over 400 years, the Catholic Church banned books they deemed dangerous. Works by Galileo and Copernicus and Karl Marx were all outlawed. But here's the irony. The Church's list of forbidden books became a reading list for intellectuals and rebels. The more the Church tried to control knowledge, the more people sought it out. And number three, the Soviet Union. Samizdat movement from 1950s to 1980s. In the USSR, censorship was absolute. If you spoke out against the government, you were imprisoned, exiled, or worse. But did that stop opposition? No. It created a movement where banned literature circulated underground. These secret books planted the seeds of resistance, eventually leading to the Soviet Union's collapse. Censorship isn't just history, it's happening now. And it's having the same effect. Consider Alex Jones, who was banned from all platforms. Well, his followers doubled down. Donald Trump was kicked off of social media. He built his own platform, and his followers doubled down. COVID-19 debate. We censored people over misinformation, which later turned out to be legitimate topics for discussion. When you ban people, you don't erase their ideas, you push them into the shadows, where they become more extreme and harder to challenge. So what's the alternative? Do we just let people say whatever they want? Actually, yes. Because free speech allows bad ideas to be defeated, not hidden. Consider the opinions of these three historical figures on the topic. John Milton in 1644 said, "Let truth and falsehood grapple. Whoever knew truth put to the worse in a free and open encounter." Frederick Douglass, "To suppress free speech is a double wrong. It violates the rights of the hearer as well as the speaker." And George Orwell, "If liberty means anything at all, it means the right to tell people what they do not want to hear." History proves that when we try to silence ideas, we make them stronger. The only way to defeat a bad idea is to expose it, debate it, and replace it with a better one. Imagine you had a controversial idea, which you really believed. Instead of debating you, but people banned you, deleted your posts, and called you dangerous. Would you rethink your position, or would you become more convinced that you were right? That's what censorship does. It turns bad ideas into the forbidden fruit. It radicalizes people instead of engaging them. It doesn't make us safer, it makes us weaker. If we believe in the strength of truth, then censorship should scare us more than the speech itself. If bad ideas are truly bad, they will fail in open debate. But if we silence them instead, we risk making them stronger. And that's not progress, that's a trap. And lastly, let's remember that the expression freedom of speech only has meaning if we accept hearing from people we hate expressing offensive ideas, not to talk about the weather. Let's have real conversations instead of silencing each other, because curiosity, not censorship, will save us. My name is Matt DiGeronimo. Until next time.